we are at Harvard University's Peabody Museum in the Hall of the Encounters of the Americas. And we're visiting the Day of the Dead altar with David Little Friend, which is on permanent exhibition here. And you'll see immediately that it's not only a splash of color, but a series of very interesting objects have been laid on this pyramid-like altar. And I'd like you to notice the relationship of two objects. Notice that at the top in the middle is a skeleton, bone, human bone image. And right below it is the divine dog, Xolotl. And it's the relationship between the dog and the bones that I want to tell you about today. So Xolotl was given permission to retrieve the bones of the underworld. But the Lord of the underworld first gave him a test and said, in order to get the bones, you've got to take this conch shell that I'm going to give you, and you have to make it sing. So Xolotl took the conch shell, and he knew it was a trick because he couldn't make it sing. But he called the worms, and the worms came, and the worms bored holes in the shell. And then Xolotl called the bees, and the bees came and they flew through the holes, and suddenly the shell began to sing. So Xolotl realized that he had tricked the Lord of the Dead, and he was now given permission to get the bones. And so he got the bones and he put them in his sack, and he was carrying them out of the underworld. When the Lord of the Dead had laid a trap, he made a big hole and covered it over with grass. And as Xolotl was going along with his bag of bones, these quail suddenly came out of the bushes and frightened him, and he fell into the hole and he died. Not only did he die, but the bones all broke into different sizes. But since he was Xolotl, the divine dog, he was able to regenerate himself. He brought himself back to life, and he gathered those bones, which were now all little different bits and pieces, and he put them in his bag, and he escaped from the underworld, and he came back to Earth, and there he met his female dog friend, and together they took those bones and they worked them into a kind of paste, and out of it they made different human beings, and they noticed that all the human beings were different sizes. And the reason that they were different sizes was because when the bones broke in the underworld, they broke into different sizes and bits, and that's why human beings today on the earth are built in different sizes. So Xolotl was so important to Day of the Dead mythology. And all cultures say that dogs are man's best friend. And so it is in the Aztec world.